Hi, and welcome to my sewing room. My name's Leah, and I'm on week 43 of my UFO challenge, where I've challenged myself to sew at least 15 minutes a day on my unfinished projects. This week I'm still working on my orange spiderweb quilt. I'm still working through the construction and the design phase, and I really thought I had everything set up and ready to go. But then I ran into a little snag and had to start all over. Last week, I thought the first section was ready to go. Everything looked great on my design wall. This week, when I came back to the project, I reviewed the photo again and decided to incorporate the border into each triangle segment instead of making it a separate unit. So I took my big triangle to the cutting board to line up the border, and that's when I realized something was off. When I lined up the diagonal with the 45-degree line on my mat, it looked fine. But the right angle side of my triangle wasn't exactly a right angle. From top to bottom, I lost almost a whole inch. A whole inch is definitely something you can't fudge in quilting, so I took everything apart. After that, I pulled out my old pad of drafting paper. I bought it over 30 years ago when I was in college taking art classes. I ended up not going into the art world, but I have hung on to this pad, and it still has plenty of sheets left. And every now and then I get it out and I use it for quilt planning. When I bought this pad all those years ago, I never imagined I'd be using it for quilting. One sheet wasn't quite big enough for my triangle, so I taped two together. I traced out my triangles and added some reference lines up to where the borders were supposed to go. Then I started laying out my pieces on top to see how everything else would line up. After staring at it for a while, I decided to tackle the end with the border section first. My plan was to sew that section together, make sure that line stayed straight, and then work my way towards the center. Each quadrant of the individual spider webs make a nice 90-degree angle near the middle, so that became my focus point. To make a quadrant, I sewed a 1-inch black strip between two triangles and then made sure the corner matched up with a 90-degree angle using my rulers. When laying things out, I still wasn't sure how much space I would need between this half web on the side and that top corner piece. I didn't want to trim anything just yet, so I had to decide, do I sew more pieces together or do I finish the rest of my drawing first? Because I hadn't drawn the border onto this paper yet. And that's where I am now. Those 15 minutes each day really flew by. Most of my time this week was spent thinking, sketching, and testing different ways to make all these pieces fit just right. It doesn't seem like a lot of sewing progress, but I am really happy with where I'm at. And honestly, I love the puzzle of lining everything up and making sure everything fits just right. I'm pretty sure I won't have this one finished by Halloween, but since this is now part of my UFO challenge, I'll definitely have it ready for Halloween of 2026. I'd love to be able to work on this project non-stop, but my main project is an Island Batik Ambassador quilt for the challenge that's coming up in November. I'm playing with the Hello Sunshine fabric line, which has also been a lot of fun to work with, but once that's finished, I might just bump up my UFO sewing time and give this a real push to finish before Thanksgiving. There's just something about this project that has me really intrigued. But for now, it'll have to stay as part of my 15 minutes a day project. But I am excited when I'll finally be able to spend a little bit more time on it every day. Thanks for spending some time with me today. And if you're working on your own UFOs, let me know what you've been sewing on in the comments below and what challenges you love to tackle. And until next time, happy sewing.